It's my pleasure to meet you all once again on this platform. And thank you to AUSD for giving me this opportunity to speak on this topic as a chairperson. Today's topic is financial well-being for occupational health and professionals. I'm just going to give you a brief introduction about this topic because this topic is quite new for doctors, but I think so. I don't know about others. So just a brief introduction, I just wanted to give you what is financial well-being for occupational health professional. It is essential for financial well-being is essential for occupational health professionals to ensure that they are able to provide the best care for their patients. It is important for them to have a good understanding of financial management and to be make sound decision and when it becomes their own finances. This session will discuss the importance of financial well-being for occupational health professionals and provide useful tips on how they can improve their financial well-being. It will also provide insight into the use of cases of AI writing tools, which can help occupational health professionals in managing their finances and generating content-related financial well-being. Some statement given by Benjamin Franklin, you must be heard, failing to plan is planning to fail. And he proved this. In terms of meeting once a financial goal, it is even so more important to have a sound financial plan during lifetime of financials. Managing your finances is not a luxury for rich, it is for everyone. We should invest our money where there is a best return or investment. So we need to we need to go through a system and not a single short solution. What is the purpose of this session? Most of the occupational health professionals have a professional self-life, and this makes them potentially more vulnerable to changes related towards the meeting their financial commitment. In nutshell, we can say you may think you are too young to manage your finances or too rich to keep track your budget. Your reason may be excusable, but only for the short term. When the time comes that you need to plan your finances, it might be too late. As you have lost all your money, whatever stages you are in right now, you must have excellent plan for financial management. This essentially now you manage and plan your investment, saving, expenses, income generations, and other personal financial activities. Many people want financial freedom, but they don't know how to manage it. They are working whole day, but they don't know how to save your money, how to where to spend it, how to invest it, and how to financially secure life for their family, their children, and all. Actually, financial management ensures financial security for you and your family. It gives financial freedom, financial security. Having a right investment plan, right insurance plan, proper saving will ensure that gives you and your family more confident and financially secure. As we all have seen in the last few years, there was an unexpected and unpredicted events happen because of the COVID-19 pandemic, and this is a classical example of uncertainty. Even wreaking havoc, it created havoc and turning lives upside down. The pandemic has adversely impacted the entire world and challenged government and economic decline. Businesses, individuals, and families are battling financial hardship, loss of job and pay cuts, and unfortunately loss of lives too. Because of the lack of knowledge, Some people don't know, some people, most of them are struggling with, with this and thinking how to become financial independent during period of crisis. So I think this session will be very informative. Without wasting a time, I can say this will say you about where to invest, and how to implement this in your day-to-day life. So I'm going to introduce today's panelist, today's speaker. First speaker is Dr. Ashish Arora. Am I right? Okay. I will invite Dr. Ashish and Dr. Maulish Patel both. Okay. So please have a seat. Okay. Dr. Ashish, he is an occupational medicine specialist with experience of over 17 years in designing and deliverance of workplace health and wellness management system across diversified organization and business. He is a member of faculty of Occupational Medicine, Royal College of Physicians, Ireland, with medical registration to practice both in India and UK. In current role, he is responsible for leading and implementing Shell Health Strategy, standard and core work streams for occupational and environmental health, wellness, human performance and community health for all Shell businesses in India. He is responsible for providing subject matter expertise on workplace health and wellness, management, return to work, mental health and travel health. Also work closely with business leadership and cross-functional stakeholder on prioritizing and developing health rise management strategy for Shell India business. He loves to adopt learners' mindset and has successfully designed a roll out various innovative products on workplace health, such as functional capacity evaluations for differently abled persons, self-audit protocol on health risk assessment, care companies network within Shell India business, resource person and contributor to various global health projects in current organization, including mental health. Now, Dr. Maulish, a brief introduction of Dr. Maulish. His expertise in occupational health physician and over 22 years of experience across diversified sectors such as iron and steel, automobile, oil and gases, etc. Well versed with various fields including occupational health, hygiene, health administration and clinical health practice. Currently designed as a Chief Medical Officer at Naira Energy Limited, Jamnagar, India, leading occupational health and medical services. He has participated and presented papers in many state and national level conferences and events. He was a wide reader. Educational qualification, he did MPhil in Hospital and Health Management, AFIH. The lots of degree he has written, PG, DMCH from IGNOU, MBBS from Baroda Medical College, Gujarat, India. Certification, he has risk assessment and management of hazardous substances. I can't understand what is W501, whatever. He has lots of experience in occupational health and safety management and financial things. Even he has certified person of OSA's 1801. So I'll invite Dr. Ashish.
That's me. Yeah. So thanks for a generous introduction for both of us. So I request Ashish to start with.
After all this lengthy discussion, one thing is clear. This session is not about our qualifications. This session is about all of us. It's about our financial knowledge and how we can actually put it into our day-to-day practice. Thank you for such a lovely introduction, ma'am. And my sincere thanks, and on behalf of Dr. Molesh also, to the IUH and to the Delhi branch of IUH for giving us this opportunity to talk about this topic, which I recall one dialogue from Three Idiots. धन होता सबके पास है लेकिन बातें कोई नहीं करता है. So it's about financial matters. We are actually going to talk about financial matters and how this is important specifically in occupational health perspective. How did this idea came to us? This idea actually, we were thinking about it for a long time because yes, every year in these conferences, we see a lot of technical subjects being discussed in detail. We do a deep dive on so many things in relation to occupational health. But yes, financial health and wellness is also something which is very important for an occupational health physician or an occupational health professional to understand. As ma'am rightly said, failing to plan is planning to fail. And this is actually true in every aspect of life. Why only finance? And we Indians, by nature, we love planning. To start with, whether it is planning for a baby, planning for their education, planning for their marriage, planning for our retirement, blah, blah, everything is meticulous. And especially when it comes to planning for marriage, we all know how meticulously we do it. Then why not we also think about a scenario where we also are planning for our finances also. And that's very important subject in today's, I would say life, when there is a lot of uncertainty surrounding our jobs, our careers, and the intent should be that we have enough financial wisdom around us so that we can try to be wealthy as soon as possible and try to be attaining something which we call as financial independence, which is different from retirement. We'll come to that in the later half. Few ground rules for this presentation. Firstly, we are not financial experts, so we are just here. We are just like you. We are here to share our finance and wellness journey with you, which you have seen, the ups and downs. Also learn from you what you can share in. And it's going to be a very interactive session, and of course it's a post-lunch session, so it has to be as interactive as possible. We'll be doing some online polls over here through Menti, so please keep your mobile phones with you. Please keep your internet on, switched on in the data on in your mobile phone. So I'll be sharing a Menti code over here during the presentations, and we like to hear from you, listen from you, and understand from you. How does financial wellness, means to you, and in what way you're practicing it in your day-to-day life? So please, this will also be very useful if you can, switch the data on in your mobile headsets. And when I request you, please type on the Menti code and respond to the questions which will come on your mobile phones automatically. One disclaimer from our end. So we are doing this session in our personal capacity. So that's why you will see a slide set which doesn't have a name of my organization or Dr. Molesh organization. So anything which we are presenting over here is all something which we want to share in our personal capacity, and none of this relates to our organization per se. We all know this great guy. For most of us, he is the father of investing, Mr. Warren Buffett. Let me just tell you his story in brief. He is among the richest persons in the world, but do you know he doesn't own any company? He has built his wealth and his legacy through patience, perseverance, and disciplined investing over last many years. And what he has told us that yes, you need not be an avid businessman, you need not be owning something as a legacy from your parents, but yes, if you have that in you in terms of financial wisdom, you can definitely go ahead and ensure that you build a legacy not only for others, but also attain financial independence as soon as possible. This session is about money, and what Warren Buffett says about money is absolutely clear. We all love money, but we in a way don't want to talk about it. I'm just sharing from my own experience. I've been attending the conferences over here, and we also love to know, and which I normally fondly call that in such conferences, normally we ask, "Aap kahan kaam kar rahe ho?" Where you are working, but we can anticipate what the second question is going to be. how much you are earning. So, yes, money is important, and it is very, very important for each and every individual, regardless of the medical specialty. But in case of occupational health, slightly more important. I'll come to that a bit later on. But yes, we have to understand that money is not everything, but it actually helps us achieve a good degree of happiness, and which is very, very important for us. We used to learn health is wealth in the good old days, which is still true as a dictum, but now there's a time also to maybe think slightly differently, that yes, financial health or a good wealth, financial health can also lead to a good personal health also. So we are living in an era where we need to focus upon our financial health and well-being also. Then that's what this entire session is going to be talking about. And few disclaimers, as I told. So we both are not certified financial advisors or assessors. What we're going to share over here is through our story of hits and misses. So please pardon us if we don't know anything which you know in relation to finance. You are most welcome to share your learnings with all of us, which will be useful for this entire gathering. But the intent over here is to start a discussion about money matters, which is very, very important. Let me just share my story over here. From a very humble background, from a very small city in the northern part of India, and from a lower middle class upbringing. And my financial journey started from my first salary itself. I started working as an occupational health physician in 2005. And in a way, I was literally forced to start investing, because that was some of my other team members were also doing. So I started, my first investment was in a mutual fund. I didn't go for a fixed deposit altogether, but that was 17 or 18 years ago. And as the time progressed, so I realized that there were certain things which I was doing wrongly. I was just lured into maybe buying some life insurance policies purely for the sake of because it was told to me that they will actually help me in having more money. It will really bring up my corpus, which actually never happened. Then some other lessons also learned. Fixed deposits are very, very good. Real estate is very good. Equity is very good. But those were the times when tax-saving fixed deposits were the talk of the town. I never realized that if I'm saving 30% tax while investing into an FD, but the interest on that is 30% taxable too. So ultimately, nothing comes in my hand in terms of the overall notional value of the money which I have invested over 5 years period. A lot of these things happened. I invested into a couple of ULIPs to realize that 20% of the money is going into the insurance company. I'm only getting 80% being invested, and rest 20% I'm simply giving to the insurance company for the sake that yes, they are going to keep me happy in terms of that my money is also growing, and in a way I'm invested for a decent amount altogether. But with all these mistakes having done, I realized that it is very important for an individual to have good financial wisdom. So did some own research, did some Googling, read some great books also on financial health and wellness. And then it was a right phase for my financial journey over the last 10 years, where I could realize that it is not impossible for one to achieve their financial goals. All that they require is the right direction and the right set of knowledge, which is there. Over the last 10 years, yes, I have invested a lot into a lot of, I would say, products, including fixed deposits also in this case. But having an agile mindset, keeping abreast of what is happening across the world in terms of finance, and then maybe tweaking my strategy a bit here and there, and learning from other people, like Dr. Molesh over here, who has been a big support for me over the last 10 years. And I can tell over here shamelessly that he has added few zeros to my bank balance also. He has been such a big support in terms of his financial knowledge. He is not giving me any money, but the knowledge which he has given me has been very, very useful to me. So now, again, when coming of late, COVID was a big shock for all of us, not only from a personal and emotional perspective, but from most. But if you divide 72 by 8%, that means every 9 years, your money is going to double. 18 years, it will be 4 times. 27 years, it will be 8 times. So that's how it actually works.
And reverse is also true in the same rule. If somebody tells you that your money will double in 12 years, you can work out the rate of interest reversely. So just this is not for any mathematical calculation, but back of mind, when somebody is selling you some product, you should have back of mind this formula ready, so then you can counter or you can take informed decisions. These are some basic finance thumb rules, which is not exactly you should follow that, but you can tweak around your circumstances also.
Thanks. Okay, let me maybe take it to a different level. So what anyone knows about the 4% rule in finance? Okay, because we will definitely touch base with all of them in this session, but just wanted to check that are we maybe telling something which the audience already knows, or is this something which we are maybe bringing new to the table itself? So there are some basic rules in terms of personal finance, like rule of 72, the 4% rule, the FIRE, it's not FIRE, it is FIRE, or Financial Independence and Retire Early Strategy, 40% EMI rule, life insurance, and 100 minus age rule. 100 minus age, anyone, what is 100 minus your age rule? No one lives till 100. We understand, but still, there is a rule in finance. What is 100 minus age rule?
Years of life you are left with.
That's a philosophical answer. You want some financial answer?
Sorry?
Percentage of money invested in the equity.
Yeah, exactly.
Exactly. So 100 minus your age should ideally be the percentage of money which should be in equity and part of your portfolio. Okay. Now comes the big question. Why this session? Why financial wellness for occupational health physicians? Let us accept this, that ours is a different medical specialty as compared to maybe other specialties. Ma'am is a pediatrician, and I had a good discussion with her a couple of days ago also, and I also maybe told her that there are specialties where the professionals or the consultants can keep on working till they love to work or till they want to work. The same not be the case with us. We in occupational health, as ma'am rightly told, we have a shelf life. When I say shelf life, that means that either if you are 58 years or 60 years or 62, or means whatever is the age of retirement in your organization, we will be productively employed. After that, yes, few of us can continue to work, but the fact is that we will not have that luxury or comfort that yes, we can continue working as a consultant, because that's not the way occupational medicine is practiced in India beyond our superannuation days. So after 60 or 65 years, we will definitely need to be thinking that yes, we are going to retire, and our scenario as compared to other medical specialists like a surgeon or someone having their own hospitals is a bit different. So yes, in a way we can say that yes, we are not like other medical consultants, but here also comes the challenge that then we are more like other salaried professionals, where having a robust financial plan starting from your 30s to 40s to 50s, depending upon which stage of life you are, is very, very, very important. For someone who is in their early 20s or early 30s, it is very important for them to have an early bird knowledge in terms of what are the various products, financial products which are available, depending upon their own earning capacity, depending upon their own risk-taking capacity, but start as early as possible. Because the earlier you start, the magic of compounding will come into picture, and this actually really has a very, very beneficial impact on one's corpus as the years of investment increases. Secondly, are those people who are maybe in their early 40s or mid 40s, who definitely have gone through some part of their financial journey, say 15-20 years, but that is the time for them to consolidate. So they are maybe well settled in their current roles, and maybe in a city where they would like to work for a long time, or they would like to retire also. But that is the time when they don't have any personal, I would say, challenges coming up in the near future, say in terms of their retirement or kids' marriage, or spending excessively on their education. So there is a time where they can try and consolidate what they have earned in the first phase of their career. The last phase, say which is 50 years and beyond, is something which I call as the compounding phase. Compounding will only happen if we have invested wisely in the growth and the consolidation phase. That's why each and every phase in an occupational health physician's journey who might need to retire one day is very, very important for us to understand, and that's why we thought of maybe bringing this topic into this conference discussion itself. So that's as of now from my end. And what I will now request all of you is to open your mobile phones. Please type www.menti.com, and then you will need to type this access code. Just go on this website, please. This light over here, no? Yeah, the light is. Please stop this. Shut this down. No?
कोई है क्या?
It is
ये लाइट थोड़ा
www.menti.com.
सा इससे थोड़ा साइड में कर लो ना.
.menti.com. MENTI.
लाइट थोड़ा सा साइड में कर लो ना. नीचे कर लो या कहीं कर लो. स्क्रीन पे नहीं जाना चाहिए.
Do we need
इस साइड कर लो. इस साइड पूरा ऐसे.
Do we
पूरा
need the
पूरा
lights?
नीचे से.
इसको बंद कर सकते हैं.
बंद कर सकते हैं.
बंद कर दो
नीचे
इसको.
वीडियो अच्छा अच्छा. थोड़ा ऐसे ये दोनों ऐसे कर लो ना. स्क्रीन पे नहीं है ऐसा. नीचे और नीचे और नीचे.
So it is MENTI, menti.com. Just checking if you are able to access it. Menti? Anyone? Any volunteers? If they can say they are able to access the website?
Yeah, code. You write down this code.
Then there is a code 86923038. You just come over here. So this is the code 86923038. Now it's there at the top of it.
86923038.
Let me give a, okay, thanks for someone already has typed, live from our hobbies and skills. Just give me one way to maybe explain what we are going to do over here. We want to know more about you, about your goals, dreams and nightmares. So,
This is anonymous, huh?
yeah, so whatever you are typing, I don't know who is typing goals, retirements, corpus, so but it is in a way to reflect what is in your mind in terms of financial wellness, and are there any, I would say, black hats or any nightmares which you really, make you sleepless at night. So again, the difference between goals and dreams. My dream is to buy a Mercedes Benz, but my goal is to have a four-wheeler. So it's between my wants and my need. I need to have a car, but I want a Mercedes, for example. So my dreams can be something which are more of an aspirational nature, but my goals are something which have a must-have value attached to them. And nightmares, I need not tell, in terms of financial well-being. So what I request from all of you in the audience over here is, please take few seconds to type, and thanks for those who are already typing.
Goals,
to-
nightmares अभी तक किसी का नहीं है.
अब तक किसी का nightmare नहीं आया. That's a good thing.
It came in my mobile.
Yeah.
You can also type, ma'am.
You can also do.
So,
Okay, fine.
live for my hobbies and my skill enhancement. Excellent, I would say. It's a dream, I would say. It's a dream. The goal, retirement corpus, and dreams world tour, and nightmare ill health. Excellent. I don't know who has told this, but yes, most of us in this room will agree with what you are saying over here, sir. To live, enjoy, to travel, to save for future, for health, for children's education. Go debt free. Excellent. Excellent. And to be the oldest Indian to climb Mount Everest.
Wow.
But who was the oldest Indian till now? Any idea? Goal is to have a villa. For me, it's a dream to have a villa because I stay in Bangalore and getting a villa is something more of a dream than a goal over here. And secured income post-retirement, financial independence, to work. So it was to work as a CMO was someone was also there. Someone told. Let me just scroll down. CMO of a major port. A nightmare is getting posted in mountain ranges.
That is nightmare.
Great. Learn trading. Excellent. To be a global influencer in health and good amount of money, own home, kids education, health, world tour, India trip, cars and bikes, nightmares about health emergencies. I can relate to it almost 100%. Who has written this? Thank you, sir. I can relate to it. Financial stability, that's why we all are here. That's
We
why
have
we are learning over
we
here.
have one Ambani's over here. To be a global influencer in health, to have a beachside villa, to own a private plane. Wonderful. We have to have a big vision.
Madam, whenever
Great.
you have, please invite me also. To enjoy life and live healthy with family. Very good. Someone was there to want to earn 100 crore rupees also. Yeah, it will just flow up. It will just come up. Post retirement and have surprise of financial disasters. Yes, excellent.
Learn trading.
And even more, maybe last 1 minute, if you want to type in you can type as many times as possible. So what I have put it over here in the Menti is that the number of responses can be n number of times from you. But it is very, very interesting to see what people are aspiring for, what they are their own goals, and for few of us, including me also, what are our nightmares.
So one is want to live my life stress free.
But I don't want this one. Want to 100 crore dream world to nightmare to lose money in stock market. So it's both the ends. Eh? 100 crore versus losing money in a single go.
So stress free life is possible if you are a financial independent or you have a good financial life. Good.
Great. Thanks for your responses. And I will maybe make a slide of this and share this with the IEH committee also, so that we can also share this with the entire audience. But thanks a lot. One request, please keep the Menti on.
Yeah, we will have one more poll.
There are
later
4 or
on.
5 Menti questions. So as I change the slide over here, so you will have one more poll coming up over here. And with these words, I'll hand over to Dr. Maulesh Patel for the technical part of the session.
So the question is for a list of things you need money for. So you categorize in dreams, goals, dreams and nightmares. So you need to know why you need money. Otherwise this entire exercise is futile. So ideally this is one slide I have prepared, just generalized responses what we get. So goals is like somebody tell it is a financial freedom, yes. Buying a house, yes, it is a goal. Closing loans, especially bad loans, you have a personal loan or you have some other loans which is not that much helpful. Some needs of your children like education, marriage and all. So these are all goals and for what we need money. The other is dreams. Dreams are, we can say, little flexible. You can postpone it, you can have some compromise on it sometimes if you don't have enough money. So somebody write to own a Thunderbird, or as he said, on a BMW or whatever it is, a trip to, Mercedes, sorry. What is the difference between two?
Different brands.
Okay.
That's my dream.
Okay. A trip to Europe, a startup, a health startup. Somebody has written in a goal also. So these are our dreams. And nightmares. There are very few nightmares. So maybe a hospitalization is a nightmare. Yes. Some accident, a road accident or any accident, it is a nightmare. Leading to death, a worse nightmare. Repair and maintenance. See, if you see few years back, say 20 years back, you have your repair and maintenance cost is minimal. Now we have fancy appliances, a mobile, a laptop. If my mobile or laptop break down, I cannot live. So I have to replace or repair. So it is a huge cost. Your bigger appliances, a fancy fridge or fancy TV, smart TV, but whatever break down, so repair and replacement is also a nightmare. So these 3 parts, you have to work for a financial plan. So goals and dreams, for that you need money. In a planned way, you need to build up a money or corpus. And for nightmares, you need to have some protection plan, so that nightmares doesn't eat your money, whatever you have kept for your dreams or goals. Are you getting my point? So, in this slide is just snapshot of your financial journey. Generally, we HSC professionals keep it in a triangle or some Maslow's triangle or some injury triangle. So this is one of the triangle which explains financial wellness. See, our money worries are basically around return on investment, but I would say it is much more than that. So if we call it a financial fitness, it has various components. So as you see in the slide, a bottom part is a protect. First of all, you have to protect your corpus, your money, yourself from whatever nightmare we have listed in earlier slides. So that if you start an investment journey, or you have say invested something somewhere, otherwise you have to break that and use in that bottom part. So your foundation has to be strong. So in that you have to anticipate whatever unforeseeable circumstances, and you have a plan to protect. We will discuss in next slide. Then second part is maximize. Once you are protected, you have peace of mind that these things we won't eat your money. Then you can work on your. You are working for money, so let your money work for you. So that is the middle part, and then top part is then you pass through this process, you gain some financial wisdom, you generate a decent corpus, and you can pass on this legacy to your next generation also. So we'll speak about that first part, protect, what you have mentioned at nightmares in your list. So this is a hypothetical example. Let's say you are some middle-aged person, married with one kid of 7 years, have some income, lump sum. You may have 10 lakh here and there. You have one house, somewhere around 40 lakhs, a few lakhs in fixed deposit, have one car. So now imagine the possibilities. We have listed few possibilities. You have endless possibilities. You can list down up here. So somebody get some medical condition, surgical condition, your house get. But you have heard about Joshimath right now. In Joshimath there were some due to seismological disturbance, many people's house get cracked and damaged. We don't foresee such kind of situation. There may be post-COVID, there are many circumstances where people lost their jobs also. You may have accident and you may die or disable. So, in this scenario, what should be your protection plan? We'll discuss few important points in a protection.
Okay.
So one more Menti poll.
Back to Menti, same code, and I will just refresh the slide now.
Next.
This is a poll. So, if you again on your Menti, if you just refresh that.
I'll read out again. What is minimum adequate life insurance cover for a working individual? Life insurance. I am not talking about health insurance. It is life insurance. What is minimum adequate life insurance cover for a working individual? So first is equal to annual income. One is 10 times annual income, then 20 times annual income, 25 times, and fifth is I don't know.
I don't have life insurance at all. Let's be very, very honest. There can be some people who don't have life insurance at all, and that is all natural also. So this is a poll in which we just want to check in terms of our financial awareness on life insurance policy itself, that what should be an adequate life insurance cover for myself. And the poll results, again, they are anonymous, they are not in numbers, they are in percentage, and those people who are voting right now, you can see the results live over here.
So don't get influenced by the results. Huh?
But the best part is, yes, people are being honest. 1/3 are saying they don't have life insurance.
So you can give a poll whatever you are actually doing. If you are not logged into, again it is www.menti.com. 86923038 is a code. Good.
Last 30 seconds for poll, please.
This is about your life insurance. Life insurance is not equal to LIC.
L and I is okay, life insurance.
Because in India we know life insurance as LIC. Many of say 50 plus can relate to this.
Okay, it's only one time you can vote.
Fine.
But the results are on expected.
So
lines.
25 responses are there almost. Good response. So 8 to 10, 12% say equal to annual income is their term insurance.
27 responses till now. 27 from the bottom of the screen. Almost everyone would have responded.
Good, good. So this is very important exercise because in India it is over.
It's there.
Okay, so this poll is in front of you. 44% said it is 10 times of annual income, and even 11 and 19% says it is more than that. 15% don't know or don't have life insurance. Very candid answer. And 11% have a insurance equal to annual income. Great. So we'll discuss on this aspect. Again, we have not started discussing about financial or investment. We are just in the bottom of that triangle. Okay, so in India, it is observed that people buy insurance for wrong reasons. Almost 50% as of now buy insurance for wrong reasons only. So as you see, there are various products of life insurance. One is term insurance, one is money back, ULIPs. There are many combinations. So first of all, if somebody can answer me why you need a life insurance, why? In one sentence, in a one point blank sentence, why you need life insurance?
In my absence, family is to be protected.
Great. So to protect your family in your absence, nightmares category. It is a difficult exercise, but if you can do it, close your eyes. Close your eyes and imagine you are dead. Seriously.
It's difficult.
It's difficult. Close your eyes. Imagine you are dead. Immediately you can foresee some emotional scenes. Fast forward to 1 more month. There will be a chaos. Your children are in school, your maybe some in marriage age, or your home you have bought for 75 lakh has a EMI of 50,000, and many more. So who will pay for it? So that's why we buy life insurance, not for investment. So most of us club life insurance with investment, and that is the biggest mistake. Even we did it. I had ULIPs, he had some endowment, we did it. We learned from mistakes. So insurance is not an expense, it is an investment. Keep in mind, it is an investment, it is not an expense. So now the question is, what was given in the poll? A thumb rule is you have to have a life insurance 8 to 12 times of your annual income, or 20 times of your annual expenses. plus your loan. So this either of two you can calculate. But minimum this is this amount what we have. Now calculate your what insurance you have and what exactly you should have. So, and then now question comes when to buy it, where to buy it, what amount we have discussed, from where, wherever. See, you must have one LIC uncle in your family or NIC neighbor in your family. He comes and sells you a policy somewhere in January to March. You must be knowing a commission they are getting in first year of endowment policy. I am not talking about term insurance. It is in first year, if you buy some endowment, you know what is endowment policy? It is insurance and investment mixed product which generally traditional life insurance company sells to you. In first year, they get 70 to 80% of your premium as their commission. So, no, we are not getting into that further, but you should buy pure term insurance, nothing else. Pure term insurance from any reputed company from online. Whichever is, you have various portal, you can compare, you can plan, but must have a term insurance somewhere around this. It is not, see, if somebody is a asset rich, lots of inheritance money, lots of asset which is generating income, no liabilities further, they don't need life insurance. This is about some middle age. So generally, when should you buy it? Once your liability starts. Liability starts once you are, say, married or having children. So that's where your liability starts, and from that point of view, you should have a decent amount of term insurance. This is non-negotiable. This is a basic financial rule. So this is about life insurance. Second is health insurance. Again, we are talking about our nightmares also. So getting into hospital and having for illness or accident, chances are more rather than dying. So chances are more, so we have to have health insurance. So many people will say that we have employers insurance or government wherever we are working. So is it enough? Generally, any average middle level person in any corporate gets around 5 lakhs of floater insurance. So we have to learn, is it enough? Because we have dependent parents also in our house. So do they have insurance? Or only corporate health insurance or our company provided or wherever we work, is it enough? Because see, in term insurance, whenever you buy a product, unless and until there are some disclaimers, you can buy it. But for medical insurance, after 50, some of you have an age more than 50, try to buy a health insurance after 50. It is itself is a nightmare. You have some issue of blood pressure, diabetes, and premiums are escalated. So after if you are working in a corporate or some company and you are retiring and then you try to buy insurance, it is not possible. You have to buy insurance at early age. Then only, and secondly, there are good products like top-up and super top-ups in insurance. Few of you might have that. So if your company has a plan of say 3 lakhs or 5 lakhs, you can buy a separate top-up or super top-up plan, so that once that base amount is exhausted, that policy comes into picture, and that policy has very minimal premium. So this kind of health insurance, you should have a strategy. Again, when to buy in your family, you should have a cover for all. You can later on separate your family floater with parents' family floater and then add on to this, because parents' premium are huge generally. And secondly, both of this insurance that insurance is a contract in a good faith. So do not hide anything. Otherwise, your purpose is to protect. You are giving a company contract that in this situation you should pay, but when you hide something, then you have it. You will not get a claim. Either it be it a life insurance, be it a health insurance. So these two are very important thing. Third is a accident or any other insurance. How many of you have a house insurance? House insurance. Just in last slide, I have discussed about Joshimath incidents. There are few stories. One lady has a house of 2 crores and she is on some government guest house now. So house insurance is a very cheap product, very, very cheap product. But you can still buy it. It can cover earthquake, riot, many, many, many conditions. There are many other insurance like disability or personal accident. Can you foresee a condition where you have some disability and you cannot work and you cannot earn and you are alive? So there are many health insurance products that comes with disability riders also. So that you can add on to that disability cover also. And this is last but not least, emergency corpus. These are insurances and now comes emergency corpus. As written in this slide, पहले कोई हिंदी मूवी में आप देखते थे तो सोना लेके कहीं कोई साहूकार के पास जाके पैसा लेने आते थे. तो that is for emergency condition. So we cannot do as of now. So there are many unplanned expenses. So you should have at least 6 months of your living cost. That includes EMI, utilities, premiums. So that 6 months of expense you should have as an emergency corpus with you. So this 1, 2, 3, 4. These 4 things are basics before you start full-fledged financial planning. So this generally emergency corpus may be useful in job loss or you switch the job or you don't get a proper job secondly. Then there are many unforeseeable, we have car or health insurance which may not be covered under health insurance reimbursement. There are many other things for which you need to have emergency corpus. So these 5 are pillars of financial wellness. So one more mentee.
Before that, just to share something
Yeah.
additional also on the previous one. This one, na? It's not working properly. Few more things maybe which I have learned from my own experience in relation to these 4 products, and specifically in relation to life insurance and health insurance. There are many corporates in private sector who offer a top-up life insurance cover also at very, very nominal rates, very, very nominal rates. So in case you get an opportunity to have this top-up, you should definitely opt for this from your corporate or from your company itself. Second thing, Molesh bhai rightly told that what should be a good age for someone to buy a life insurance. Maybe let me bring the elephant into the room. What should be a good age till which one should have a life insurance?
Yeah.
Anyone? Because normally insurance companies says now their products till 80 years, 85 years, you can have life insurance policies. Any thoughts? Yeah, please. Till your working life. Why? Suppose I work till 60. If I have insurance till 70 years, what's the harm?
Till liabilities. Exactly.
So that's very, very important. Insurance should ideally be covering your working life cycle. That's very important. I have seen insurance companies saying that you first pay for the first 5 years, only the entire premium is paid, and for next 40, 45 years you are totally covered. Your life insurance is there. I normally tell on a lighter note, if I'm not working and if I have a life insurance of 2 crore rupees, then my life is in danger.
So as I in the starting said, people buy insurance for wrong reasons. 50% of in this forum has insurance for child, wife, mother, father, which are not earning. So this is forced selling. Even I had in my starting of career insurance in the name of my first child. So all rubbish product. Please get away with this product as soon as early as possible, maybe today night or after getting home.
Second thing is perspective on the health insurance part of it also. The inflation on health expenditure should be taken in absolute terms. I'll give you an example. 10 years ago, and when I was in Patiala, that time the cost of having a single bed, single private room occupancy in a corporate hospital was around rupees 2,500. Right now I'm in Bangalore, the same sort of private room cost around rupees 12,000. It's almost 5 times in 10 years. Inflation around 15% just for a hospital bed. And the other costs, investigations, doctor's fees, other tests, etc., they again increase proportionally. So whenever you are going to choose a health insurance product, think of health insurance inflation in absolute numbers, not in terms of relative that yes, no, today I am buying 5 lakh rupees of health insurance policy and it should be sufficient for me over the next 5 years. No. As the medical technology is advancing, now we are more into the era of robotic technologies, but it comes with a cost also. It comes with a cost. So it is very, very important whenever you are going to buy a health insurance product, think of absolute health cost inflation. And that's very important.
I remember one ad from Aegon Life Insurance, Come Insurance Lene Ki Bimari. We Indian have a disease of taking very, very low life insurance. Real life insurance or health insurance. Otherwise, LIC uncle can sell you many investment products.
So now when we come to insurance products, now is a new Menti. The code has changed, so you will need to go back to menti.com and this is a new code 5899064. I'll just go to the presentation slide. It will come up. Yeah. I'm just starting it. Give me 1 second. I'm just putting it on the screen with the new code. Again, this is a poll in relation to what insurance policies, what type of insurance policy, money back policy or a ULIP policy.
Just be candid on your response.
Some network issue. It will just load up in 1 second. Yeah. I'll go on the presentation mode now. So this is the Menti. 5899. Okay, people already responded. Thank you. People are very sharp. So we have 7 responses till now. Again, what we have put over here is 4 choices. One is a term insurance, the best case scenario, but be honest. We don't want here to give an answer where we have the biggest bar. We need an answer which is true and honest. Which type of life insurance product you have? A term insurance, a ULIP, which is an equity linked or market linked product, very popular, definitely. A money back or an endowment policy that after say 20 years or 30 years you will get this guaranteed money back. And okay, I think the 4th one is nothing, sorry for this. And 5th is no idea. I don't have any idea, but I have a policy, but I don't have any idea. This can happen because sometimes the insurance policy is sold to us by an insurance service provider. We don't actually know what is the policy all about. 21 answers till now. So no one has opted for ULIP, that is unit linked insurance plan, that is something which is related to markets, equity linked plans, and an overwhelming number of people are opting for term insurance, which is in fact the good thing and the right thing to do also. Money back plans, they are good, but if you see their notional value, the return on investment Traditionally on money back plans is somewhere between 5 to 6%, even less than the fixed deposits in the banks. And the amount of insurance coverage they give is almost 1/4 or lesser than of a term insurance.
Any money back plans have two components. One is mortality cover, which is same for term insurance or whatever you buy. Mortality component is same. The other component is investment. So if you separate both of component, you come to know what is real interest they are giving. They are giving just around 4 to 5%, which is very, very bad, and you should avoid it. And the amount of coverage, it is generally maximum 10 times of your premium they are covering. So if you are paying premium of say 1 lakh, they are covering 10 lakhs, so which is very, very suboptimal. So that's why you should refrain from this type of bundle product.
Okay, so we have got 25 responses, and as we can see, almost 50% or a majority of them have opted for term insurance, which is in fact the right thing to do. And thanks a lot for your responses. I'll just toggle on to the slides again. Okay. I'll start this slide. This is very, very interesting because now we are moving from the protect part, which Malesh Bhai has rightly covered, life insurance, health insurance, accidental insurance, as well as creating an emergency corpus. Now what if you have all these things properly covered? What happens next in your financial journey? That now it is the right time that yes, I know I am fairly covered, my family is adequately protected. Now it is a time for me to become wealthy, not rich. There is a difference between getting rich and getting wealthy. Both the themes really appear to be quite close, but yes, when we understand them in detail, it is very, very difficult to become wealthy as compared to becoming rich. When I say becoming wealthy, so it is maybe a situation where you are controlling the money is not controlling you. You are investing and building up your assets, not investing and purchasing some liabilities. Even when you are sleeping, you have a passive source of income. And most importantly, it is not being rich, it is being wealthy that leads to financial independence. Financial independence again is different from early retirement, but yes, many of us, as we have seen in the first Mentee, we have a goal to achieve financial independence. We will come to that what do we mean by financial independence, but it is very, very important to understand that the wealthy people, they don't appear rich, and it can be vice versa also. So from a financial wellness perspective, it is very important for us to be wealthy, and so that we create wealth not only for us, but for the next generations also. And that's what I put it maybe on the right hand corner of this slide, the wealth creation methodology. In the early years of our career, we are required, and when we are sort of in a build-up phase, if you recall the previous slides, build-up phase, then consolidate phase, and the compound phase. So in the early years of our careers, we need to be spending money wisely. We are working for money. Yes, we will need to earn a salary to maybe have a livelihood, to bring our kids, to take care of our near and dear ones. But if at that early stage, as I gave my example also, I started investing for my first salary itself. If we start it at as soon as possible, there will be a stage when through the power of compounding, after 5, 10, 15 years, it becomes the other way around. You are working for money, that may not be the case. I am working because I love working. I have passion for working. That's it. But am I really working for money? If you are an avid investor, if you have been investing for a long time in the right tools and products, you will create wealth to an extent that even when you are sleeping, the money will work for you. And that's what we call as passive income, and that effectively leads to wealth creation. And for an astute financial, I would say, someone who has good financial knowledge, this should be our goal. That sort of a transition from a stage where we are working for money to a stage after a few years down the line, using the power of compounding, that the money starts working for us. We are just working because we just love to work. Malesh bhai?
Yeah. So after 1 hour of this discussion, now we are investing. Earlier we were protecting ourselves. So the where to start with? The starting is your cash flow measurement. So you have to have some cash flow movement measured. So as in a slide you can say personal cash flow is income minus expense. So if you consider your you have a money box at your home, money box. So income from your primary income of all of us is salary most of the time. So when salary kicks in, immediately various outflow starts, AMI, groceries and all whatnot. So one of this thumb rule is you have expense, essential expense up to 50%, 30% on lifestyle, which includes AMI also, and 20% should go to saving. Now let us label it as a saving. So at least 20% of your take home should go under the umbrella of saving, and rest essential is expenses and EMIs and all. So we have only one source, and we have to make sure that it doesn't flow out immediately. So see, this is a behavioral aspect. So we need to develop some habits forcibly to save these things in early age. So there are various tools for that. If you have separate account, so some authors or some financial advisors advise for a separate account. As your salary comes into your salary account, you immediately transfer it to either one more or two more account. One is your expense and one is your saving account. Saving means label that saving account. So that 1 lakh comes in, your 70,000 goes into your expense account and 30,000 goes into your investment account. And reverse is not possible. From your investment account, you should not shift into this your expense account. This is just, you have to develop a mindset. This is possible. See, if you practice this for a few months or years, you do not need any separate bank account. So you have to develop this. Now, what I have termed earlier is saving. You are not investing till late. There is the biggest enemy called inflation, you all know. What is current inflation, anybody? After this COVID, post-COVID Ukraine war, inflation is very high, right? 6 to 7% somewhere, 7%. So inflation is very high and it is an invisible enemy. So if you see two graphs here, impact of 5 inflation, we have taken it 5%. Just for averaging out, 5% on expense. If today your expense is 30,000, after 20 years your expenses would be 80,000, taking into account the inflation. And similarly, saving. If you have a 1 lakh today without any proper investment, it would be around 35,000, taking inflation into account. So if you are only saving, your money sits idle on bank for 1 or 2%, it will not beat inflation. And as Ashish said, the money will not generate money. You only will work for money, but money will not work for you in any case. So your financial plan or your investment should have various components which beats inflation. So number one, your investment product, whatever it is, should beat inflation. Number one, it should provide income when you need it. It should be liquid. It should provide whenever you need it. Be accessible and usable in parts and portion. Say if you have invested in a house, I am not talking about your living house. If you are invested in a house, say 50 lakhs, if you need 10 lakhs, you can not sell one room out of it. So it should be usable in part, and otherwise, if you have invested in some equity products, you can take it out in a part and portion also. It should grow and appreciate in value, and it should have low cost. These are various, your investment products should have this kind of features or say values. Okay. So, one more Manticode.
Yeah, so this is one more Menti. And as now we are talking about the investment part of it, it will be interesting to understand how are the investment preferences or patterns of people in this room. Say it is gold, real estate, fixed deposits or equity linked investments. So I'll just refresh the slide and it should come over here. So now on the same Menti, if you just refresh or put refresh on your mobile screen, you can start submitting your results.
Code is 5899064.
Okay, so real estate, equity.
Equity means anything. Huh? I will come
Stock
to
markets,
this
mutual funds,
various asset class after this slide. So equity is any stock market, mutual fund, anything, real estate, gold, debt instrument, all your even endowment policy comes under
The
that.
fixed deposits,
Fixed deposit, PPF, EPF, everything comes under that.
And when we are saying it's a major component, means out of these four pillars, which is the most important or the biggest component in your overall financial portfolio? Gold has very few takers, surprisingly. I thought gold has got good notional and emotional value also.
Very few females in this house, so that's why.
Actually, where to invest?
Hmm?
Where to invest it?
We will discuss in couple of slides.
After this.
See, this session is not to give you a prescriptive roadmap, but we can discuss about directions.
Last 30 seconds, if you want to poll. We had 19 responses till now. And even why gold is not a preferred investment tool? Anyone? 5% is a bit way too less. Which in a way is right also. I won't say it's wrong, but any thoughts why gold is not the most preferred investment tool?
It's not static and it's a very versatile takeover.
Same is true with equity also, no?
The choices doesn't include the e-currency. And someone come and take it. Like theft.
Yes, someone can take it. I can give you my own experience. So my wife loves gold ornaments, but she never knew that. She always thought that if we are buying ornaments, we are investing into gold. No. And from this old school would have thought that no, per gram making charges, say 10 rupees, 50 rupees per gram. Now we are into a scenario where it depends upon the complexity of the design itself. Say
Yeah, making charge is quite high, and that is
it can be
lost.
as low as 5% for a simple chain to as high as 30% for a complex design. So now she went, I think it was last year. I have not purchased anything this year for her, luckily.
Good.
So last year we went to a jewelry shop and she just loved something, sort of a bangle, and almost, it was huge cost. And then I even asked the jeweler, what's the making charges? He told 22%. Which is humongous. Now after 6 months she told, Ashish, I'm not liking this design. No, maja nahi aa raha isko pehen ke. It was our investment. Now let us sell it again. But she is not realizing that the moment I go and sell it off, until the value of gold has increased over last 6 months, I am practically losing 22% of my invested income. If you are investing in gold, either you go through sovereign gold bonds, which we'll touch base in the next slide, or maybe in physical gold, but sorry ma'am, less of ornaments. Less of ornaments.
But it was for investment or as an ornament? Please be
We will discuss it offline.
be candid. Okay,
Offline
fine.
discussion.
Share your opinion on the e-currency
E-currency,
concept, which is
bitcoins and crypto.
What was the what was the result?
See, no, results was real estate was real estate and equity is
Number one.
equal almost.
real estate.
Okay, real estate number one, equity second, gold and debt
I
instrument.
think real estate, so I
Yeah.
get it.
So we'll come to now. We are coming to discuss various asset class where we need to invest. I'll just try to answer the question of Bitcoin and cryptocurrency. I personally don't invest where I don't know. We don't have any knowledge or we don't have any experience of that kind of cryptocurrency or Bitcoins. So personally, I would not recommend or invest in crypto. But say you can have a 1 or 2% based on your risk appetite. Risk appetite is everything. You have risk appetite, then you can have but not a major part of, just to have a thrill in your portfolio, you can have it. Anyway, we will discuss about various asset class now. So as we discussed this 4, debt, equity, real estate and gold. Okay. So as you see in this slide, there are financial assets. So list of debt products. ये कहाँ जा रहा है? A list of debt products like bank deposit, PPF, postal schemes, even mutual fund. So when we thought of mutual fund, it is equity. No, mutual fund has all spectrums of asset class. So mutual fund do have a debt scheme. Then life insurance all comes under debt product. Then equity. Equity is, say, direct, you are purchasing shares. Structured product like PMS, mutual funds, and future option trading. These are all equity. There are products which are hybrid in nature. It is bundled equity and debt. Alternate classes are realty and gold. These two we know. There are investors which invest in commodities, art form, private equity, businesses, etc. So all in all, these are just a glimpse of what different asset classes are there. So first we will discuss about gold. We have discussed enough. So as Ashish said, purchasing power of gold remains almost same across. There are cycles. Currently gold has risen sharply. So it is basically a hedge against inflation. So you can have, say, gold for wedding, personal jewelry, but not much as an investment. You can have, say, again, this is a thumb rule, a max of 5 to 10% of gold as a total portfolio. That is a thumb rule. You can have 2% or 7% also. So there are various vehicles where you can buy a gold. First is physical gold. See, you can see a line. If gold value is 5,000, what you are investing. First is physical gold. When you buy physical gold, you directly upfront pay making charge, as he said. So you are already getting 10 or 20% less. Second is digital gold. Third is gold ETF. You can buy, if you have Demat account, you can directly buy gold ETF. It has a hidden expense ratio in it. Fourth is SGB. Some of you might have purchased that, sovereign gold bond. It gives you 2.5% interest. So if you want to buy a gold for a say little longer term as an investment to hedge against inflation for your this, you can definitely go into SGB. SGB will give you 2.5 additional interest. It has some lock-in period. It can be sold after 5 years. And secondly, if you are more say professional, you can buy SGB from secondary market. You can buy even on lower cost. So these are various ways you can buy a gold and what can be your limits. Second is real estate. So again, like gold, we have special love for real estate, isn't it? So owning and buying house for a living is a good. But for investment, see, because we don't have a huge, in Delhi or say Mumbai, if you want a 2 BHK house, it cost maybe decent locality, not less than 50 lakhs, somewhere around 75, 1 crore, etc. So if you, other than your living house, if you buy a house for investment, then you are parking almost all of your portfolio into that. So you don't have another other liquid or good asset to be investing. Generally, what are the drivers to buy a house? Black money और fear of missing out. अरे आशीष ने तो बेंगलोर में अभी घर लिया, मैं क्यों नहीं लूँगा अहमदाबाद में? See, that kind of comparison we do. And then we end up in buying. It is a compulsive buying, we can say. टैक्स बचाने के लिए भी चलो घर ले लेते हैं, क्योंकि अच्छा एक आपका इंटरेस्ट उसको मिलता है, टैक्स रिबेट. So we should not go based on this ideas. And last thing is, anyway, whenever you buy a house, your EMI payout should not be more than 25 to 30% of your take-home income. Keep this, because bank will provide up to 50%. They can go at any, because they have to sell. They will earn handsome return on this. So you cannot go beyond 25 to 30% of your take-home EMI. There are various other aspect of buying property, that is real estate, mutual fund, REITs. So, किसी को पता है REITs और real estate fund?
So, some of them are traditional ways of buying property like
REIT.
REIT.
Last में sir mention किया है.
Second last, REIT. So what I was saying was that some of them are traditional ways of buying real estate. That we have our own house, as he told. By the way, a 2 BHK flat in Mumbai will not be 50 lakhs.
No,
it is,
I was joking.
It is at least 2 crore without balcony.
Right.
If you want a balcony, then you have to spend a few lakhs more. Okay, so then you have plotted developments. Yeah, we all like to invest in plots again, but you have to check about the land deeds. It should be something which should be absolutely clear. The land title should be clear. It should not happen that after you buy and after 5 years, there is someone else who is claiming that this land is theirs. Third thing which has especially come up very well in southern part of India are the managed farmhouses. So you don't need to be a farmer for this, but there are specific sections where these managed farmhouses are being developed, and the net income is agricultural income. So you can plant some trees over there, grow some fruits over there, pay a maintenance charge. So there will be a gardener who will take care of the entire thing, and the produce is yours. And because this is an agricultural income, so it is not added to your taxable income. Commercial property, okay, 2 ways of investing it now. One is that yes, I directly purchase a shop in a complex and then we put it on rent. It has its own pros and cons. The biggest benefit is that the prospective tenant, he will not take it for an year or 6 months. If I want to establish a shop in an area, it has to be a long-term commitment, 10 years, 12 years, 15 years down the line, because I also need to have maybe some time bandwidth so that I can establish my business in that area. So for example, if I have my own clinic and I want to maybe maybe take a place on rent, and after say 1 year, if I say कि यार यहाँ इस जगह मतलब मजा नहीं आ रहा, let me have a clinic somewhere else. So it will impact my earning capacity also. So the benefit of having a commercial property is that normally the agreements with the tenants are for long term, minimum 8 to 10 years, and sometimes for a long term lease also. The disadvantages, yes, you will definitely have problems in throwing the tenant out of the shop because they will not agree to move out as easily. Secondly, in case of the self-occupied properties, the flats or the apartments, banks give loan till 90% of the total value. In case of commercial property, rarely any bank gives more than 60%. So that is a big chunk of the money has to be funded by yourself. Second new, I would say, avenue which has especially come up very nicely in commercial property, especially in metro cities, is that you can invest into office spaces. So if you have an under construction property, and there are various websites like Property Share on which they will publish that yes, we are coming up, and these all are pretty reputed builders like Rahejas or Lodhas, or you have DLFs in this part of India. So which will publish that yes, we are coming up with a property if you have a sizable chunk of money to invest, and then they will promise you two things. One is an assured, sort of an interest. Second is the rental income also, which can be a useful product, but only if you have a large chunk of money to invest. REIT, or the newest baby in the town, that is Real Estate Investment Trusts. So the motto over here is to invest in a commercial property with as low as rupees 300. As low as rupees 300. So these basically are special purpose vehicles, or SPVs, which are created. As of now in India, we have only 3 REITs. One is owned by Mindspace in Mumbai, second is by Brigade Enterprises in Bangalore, and third is by Embassy Parks in Bangalore. So but these 3 are very big players in office spaces. So what they do is that they will have their sort of, they have their own, stock market, I would say stocks or shares, which a person can buy and directly invest into these REITs through having a Demat account. Now, how does it help? It helps a person in 3 ways. Firstly is, as per the order of Supreme Court, 90% of the rental income generated by any of these office buildings, suppose say you have DLF. DLF doesn't have an REIT as of now in India, but if you have, for example, DLF is there, so they have given an office on rent to an MNC in Cyber City. And whatever rental income they are generating from there, from that MNC, 90% of that has to be distributed among the shareholders. So if you own a part of that REIT through a Demat account, so that assured rental income will come to you, which will again be as per your existing tax slab. Second benefit is the dividends which they declare. These REIT, these companies will declare, REIT companies will declare. So the dividend, again, if it is through a special purpose vehicle SPV which is created for making this REIT, the entire dividend is non-taxable. So you earn the entire money and you can keep this with you. And thirdly, because the value of the property will also increase over time. So, and because you have bought the commercial property here through REIT vehicle, and maybe through shares, buying the shares of that property, so the share price also of that property increases. REIT was introduced in India almost 4 years ago. They are still something very, very new. There's not much awareness around it, but the absolute rate of return among the 3 REIT which are available in India, Mindspace, Brigade, and Embassy is between 12 to 18% as of now. And last but not the least, mutual funds. We have some thematic mutual funds also specific to real estate. So again, you can also consider investing over there. The tax implications is that if the profit for an year is more than 1 lakh, then 10% long-term capital gains tax will apply on this.
So we have 20 minutes left, so we have to go fast. Okay, so we have talked about 2 in asset classes. Now coming to debt and equity, we have just discussed a lot. So debt is the umbrella of financial product which is based on borrowing. So we have listed all debt products. So generally idea to invest in debt product like fixed deposit or whatever it is, to have a security and stability to your portfolio. And money will be available in a short notice. If you have a fixed deposit, you have a stability. Say we have discussed about your emergency portfolio. For emergency portfolio, you can invest in such kind of debt product, and it should be stable and it should be available in short notice. And then equity, as you all know, it is an ownership model. So you can have a direct stock or indirectly through mutual funds. Okay, so equity is a slow cooked product. It is not an instant noodle. You keep in mind. And generally, whenever we talk about equity, mindset of say our older generation, it is gambling or it is something you should not be in. It is a legitimate marketplace governed by SEBI, so you should not be shy away just because your perception is wrong. And the last important thing is it is not market timing, but time in market is very important. So if you are there in equity market and you are long-term investor, you should not worry about minor fluctuation. So if we compare all this asset class and against the inflation, you should earn just above the inflation. So in this slide, you can say various products like equity, real estate, FD, gold, bank deposit. Very few beat the inflation. So for a longer term goals, again I am saying for a longer term goals, you should have a product which is beating inflation and generating your money. In the below graph also you can see a 20-year return of FD, gold and equity just for a sake of comparison. In market, past performance is not an indicator for a future performance. But these are long data. If you go on various websites, you can dig out data for maybe 15 years or 50 years also. So now coming to how can you start your investment journey and what portion you can allocate to what kind of product. So as we talk about inflation, price of egg and price of equity product, this is not a recommendation, okay? I have mentioned one stock's name called Asian Paints. Cost product rate was 200 and in 2022 it was 3122. So it is not a recommendation, but just to give you a glimpses that how your equity works against inflation and against other class of products. So we all are being in occupational health and medical space, so we know how balanced thali is. So if you pick up only pickle and papad, it will not create a balanced food. You have to have dal, protein and all carbs and all into a balanced meal. So your folio or your investment product also should have a purpose. If you are investing in equity, you should have a purpose behind it. So basically, all products are good, but a purpose, your goal, it should be a goal-based investing. So we'll now discuss for what products are suitable for what goals. Okay. So in this, we have divided into purposes. Like आपने जो शुरू में एक्सरसाइज किया था ना, गोल, ड्रीम्स वगैरह, तो वो कुछ आपके गोल्स है जो आपको 3 years में रियलाइज 2-3 साल में रियलाइज करने हैं. एंड फ्यू गोल्स आर से आपका चिल्ड्रंस हायर एजुकेशन और सम यूरोप वैकेशन will be in say 5 to 7 year horizon. It will come into a mid-term. First is a short-term goals, second is a mid-term goal, and third is a long-term goal. Long-term goal generally is your retirement and maybe child marriage. Such kind of goals comes under long-term. Okay. So which products are suitable for various goals? You should just have a glimpse of. So for a short-term goal, generally bank deposit or nowadays a fixed say auto FD kind of thing. There are ultra short term mutual fund or arbitrage fund or liquid funds. These kind of products are suited for your short term needs. For mid term goals, you should have a balanced mutual fund or say hybrid or some equity fund or some stocks. And for your long-term needs, maybe more than 7 to 10 years, definitely pure equity, pure stock. In mutual fund space, there are many flexi-cap funds, large-cap funds, blue-chip funds. And also, you should have for your long-term planning some amount, like 100 minus your age. So you should have some space for that product also. So in that case, NPS, PPF also you can add in. Okay. So it is said that you should not put all eggs in one basket. So you decide a goal. You have done one exercise that these are my goals. Put it into various umbrellas. This is a short-term goal, this is a mid-term goal, this is a long-term goal. And based on that, you can choose a product. For that goal, where should I invest? Ashish, would you like to explain this? So we have very. Madam, कितना time है? 15 minutes. Okay.
So we finish as soon as possible so that we have some bandwidth for the Q&A also, if at all. Okay, so this is maybe in a way a beginner's journey towards financial wellness. You know, what's the most difficult step in attaining financial wellness is to start it. You know, but a beginning well done always leads to a good, end also. So if you see over here, the hardest part in any financial wellness journey is to the way and the means to start it. And most of us would have realized it, that, earning the first goal, say, for example, if I say I want to earn 1 crore rupees as it should be part of my portfolio, earning that first crore is the most difficult part of someone's financial journey. The next crore will come much, much more easy. Not because we are earning more, or not because our money has started earning, as I told maybe in the previous slides. It's because of only one reason, the habit. We develop certain habits towards reaching our goal of earning first crore, and those habits are actually going to remain with us because they are in fact certain good habits which we now take, and certain bad habits which we say, okay, we should not be adopting these, say for example impulsive spending, splurge, buying, etc., which will remain with us even after we reach our first target of say 1 crore rupees. That's why most of us would have realized that with the same financial discipline, the same means of income, the same earning capacity, second crore or a third crore will come much, much faster as compared to first, because it's all about the habits which we have developed. As is clearly mentioned, that the first 1 crore is growth, the next 1 crore is maintenance, because we already have set up in a typical lifestyle, in a typical way of living, where we aspire to be wealthy. We don't aspire to be rich. And as Malesh rightly told, it's money which makes money. So ultimately, we will be reaching that stage where our money starts getting wealth for us, and then actually we land into a situation where we can say that yes, we could potentially be thinking about financial independence. Much of it can be achieved through a magical calculator. Most of us would have read this formula, principal plus into 1 plus r upon 100 to the power time for compound interest in class 5th or 6th in our mathematics. But we never thought that we will revise it in an IUH session, sometimes many, many years down the line. But that is the magic of compounding. Even Albert Einstein once told that if there is an 8th wonder in the world, it is compounding. Because the impact of compounding is so huge, so fantastic, but only thing it requires is patience. That yes, we need to have that patience to stick to our investing and spending philosophy. And say 5 or 10 years down the line, if you see the graph on the right hand side, you will see the investment journey for first 7 to 8 years remains more or less static. Even if I'm maybe investing into a tool which is giving me around a CAGR or compounded annual growth rate of around 12% per annum, for first 6 to 8 years or even 10 years, I won't see the tree growing. I have investing into it through a disciplined approach, but I won't see it growing. But what happens after 10 years down the line, when I have created sort of a corpus within through my investing, then we can see the money growing at a much, much faster and then exponential rate. And that's what has been illustrated in the graphic on the left hand side also. We have taken two scenarios. One is a working person who is going to invest 1,000 rupees per month for 30 years at 12% notional rate of return. So the total amount invested 12,000 per year, 30 years is 3.6 lakh rupees. But the maturity value after 30 years will be 35.29 lakhs. On the same thing, someone who started investing early, means the time horizon for investment is not 30 years, in this case it is 35 years. Same rate of return, same monthly investment, 1,000 rupees per month. For 35 years, the amount invested is 4.2 lakh rupees. That is only rupees 60,000 more than what was invested in the previous case. But if you see the maturity value, it's almost double. So that is the magic of compounding. The more you remain invested, the more you remain disciplined, the more compounding will work magic for you. Last but not the least, and this is what in fact we discussed initially also, the FIRE or the financial independence, retire early. This is a relatively new concept, I would say, which is coming more of late as of now, which has started. We have seen people practicing it. But for us who don't even want to go to the FIRE strategy at all, we should be thinking about 30-30 challenge. That we should be investing rigorously, patiently and through discipline for 30 years so that we can fund 30 years after our retirement. As I told, we as occupational health professionals, we have a shelf life. So it is very important that for us to attain financial freedom, financial independence, please see if this 30-30 rule is applicable for you or not. But in case you are able to save more, when I say more, I can put a ballpark figure to it also, say 50% or more. Say suppose you are earning 100 rupees per month and after paying all your bills, everything, you are able to save more than 50 rupees, that is more than 50%. Then you come into a category which we call as FIRE, or Financial Independence Retire Early category, where it has been seen if someone is a disciplined investor and they invest for 12 to 15 years and they are able to save more than 50% and they're investing everything of it into some good investment tools, then in mid-40s, they can think of a situation where they are financially independent. Though they may not like to retire, retirement is something that, yes, I don't like working, or maybe I have been asked to sit at home, I can still continue working, but I have manage myself to be in a situation where I can say I don't need to work for money. That is FIRE.
So, as I said, you are financially free when you don't have to work to pay your bills, okay? And it is also called go to hell money. So, what is that? You can very well say your boss, go to hell, because I don't need further money. Okay, so some thumb rules for retirement plannings. What is corpus required? Say, if you are it may differ for a pension. Some PSUs earlier had a pensionable job, so it may differ for that. But for a normal corporate salaried person, young person, you don't have a pensionable job. So you have to invest and generate a retirement corpus that would serve you for your retirement life. So now average life expectancy is huge. So you have to have a thought of 25 to 30 years in your mind. So the corpus requirement at retirement is 18 to 35 times of the expense at retirement. So if you are retiring at say 60, so the expense of that 16th year, annual expense of that 16th year, you should have 18 to 35 times of that corpus, which can be invested so you have a regular flow of income for your all retired life. So we'll have some calculation later on, but how will you check that milestone? So as we mentioned, at the age of 40, you should have 3 times of your annual income as a retirement corpus. For this particular goal only, you have other goals. For this goal, at the age of 40, you should have 3 times of your annual income invested in tools we have mentioned, like various equity links tools, or tools which will generate income more than inflation. At the age of 50, you should have 6 times of your annual income as a corpus for a retirement goal. And at the age of 60, you should have at least 8 times of your annual income as a retirement corpus. This may include your conventional NPS, PPF also, in addition to your invested amount. So again, as Ashish said, as you save more, you will come to this goal very early and very efficient way. At the age of 25, you should save 25% of your post-tax income. And at the age of 40, you should have 40% of at least post-tax income saved till the age of 60. Say after 25 to 40 is a tricky period where your expenses are likely to increase, your home EMI and many EMIs, your children's education. But after 40, your expenses are little settled down, and then you can have more income and you have space to grow for your investment. Okay. So again, basic thumb rule is income minus expense is not saving. It is income minus saving is equal to expense. If you keep this in mind very well, then you can build all over the thumb rules. Again, if you have interest, I can go into little detail on how to calculate a retirement expense. So what money you need for retirement? You have to have three components. One is lifestyle cost, that is E. Second is inflation factor, that is F, and longevity, that is L. Longevity means after retirement, you assume that you need money for say 30 years. We will fix that longevity at a 30. Now comes lifestyle cost E. So say I am giving an example for a 40-year person, 40 year. Today I am 40. My current annual expense is 6 lakhs, 50,000 a month, that is 6 lakhs per year. Okay, so that is E, I have derived E. Now inflation factor. Again coming to formula of 72, we can also calculate. So in 10 year, in say 7% inflation, I need double money. In 20 year, again double, so 4 times. So that factors come to 4. So my calculation, corpus calculation is E, that is 6 lakhs, longevity, that is 30, and inflation factor is 4. So that comes to 7.5 years. If I am 40 today, having monthly expense of 50,000 a month, I would require 7.2 crore as a retirement corpus. As I said, this doesn't include if I am eligible for pension or whatever, you can minus that. So there are online calculator available. If you are interested, I can give you a link for that. So you can calculate all of this, you can Google it and you can derive to that calculator. So these are all various goals and how can you calculate goals. Quick few aspects of financial wellness, that is nomination and will. We generally forget to give a nomination to a bank account. Check all the bank accounts for a nominee. If not, immediately assign nominee. Nowadays it is possible online also. Bank account, dependent account, mutual fund account, any account. Will is a different from nominee. Okay, so will is nominee is a caretaker, but will is a actual person to somebody whom the fund will flow. Generally, it is required in a joint family or extended family where we have various real estate or various property that are joint. So it is good to have a will. It is a simple pen and paper exercise. There are online tools are also available. So it should have executor names and witness signature. So think of doing nomination and will. And last part, one part we have not discussed. Whatever your insurance, whatever your investment, you should have documented in hard copy, soft copy, or any of your say Google Drive which is protected. Document and communicate. So all of your insurance, you are not there, somebody else have to execute. So now on all the online tools, if I have term insurance, it is online. So the ID password should be available to my spouse or children. So all the protection plan, all the investment plan, you should have a written documents you should have all passwords, you should have all available bank accounts details in hard and soft copy, and communicate. It is not important to have hard copy, it should be communicated. Because see, this type of candid conversation to your say, family member and spouse is sometimes not happening, which should have. Tax saving, generally people start investing for the tax purpose. In first salary, I might have started investing due to this tax saving purpose only. But our investment should not, tax saving should not be the driver for the investment. So maybe PPF, ELSS, if you don't have enough, say you're still having a space for investment, ELSS is a very good product for a tax saving. It is having some lock-in period, 3 years, but it is wonderful equity link products. You can select some good mutual fund, ELSS, and save tax on this. Other NPS is also good. You have various options in NPS. Equity and debt part you can select, mix and match. You can have additional 50,000 81D option. So you can save additional 50,000 tax on NPS also. So these two are very, very good product to save tax. So just one slide on self-destructive investment behavior. So you can see your future goals, and suddenly one LIC uncle comes and pull away all the goals. Generally endowment policy, you again invest, and your investment and insurance combined, and your future all goals will go away like this only. So what are the self-destructive investment behaviors? No financial plan and goals, not enough health and life cover, as we discussed in our nightmare, failing to diversify, सब रियल एस्टेट में डाल दिया, सब डेट में डाल दिया, delaying investment. Early age we are tempted to spend more, so we are delaying our investment. Chasing performance and following herds. Demat account खोला तो मतलब your agents start selling a product, आज ये ले लो या एच पे दो. So unless and until you have enough know-how, you don't go into that product. Mixing insurance and investment, that is also a self-destructive behavior. And tax saving to be the prime objective of investment, that is again self-destructive investment behavior. So you will be surprised to know investment is supposed to boring. You may not agree with this. See, if you are doing investment and having a, say if I say I am investing in a mutual fund, okay, I have selected a good mutual fund, I am tracking that performance on almost annual basis. So it may look boring to somebody because there is no thrill. Market आज यहाँ गया, मैं कहाँ हूँ. So if you are your product portfolio seems to be boring, I think you are on a right track. My competency, मुझे पता है कि I know more of mutual fund. Ashish may be having some good knowledge of stocks, so he can go into his or her competency. बट वो स्टॉक में इन्वेस्ट कर रहा है इसलिए मैं मेरा म्यूचुअल फंड इन्वेस्टमेंट छोड़ के वहाँ चला जाऊँ, दैट इज़ नॉट गुड. इफ़ आई हैव इनफ नो हाउ एंड टाइम, देन ओनली आई कैन गो टू पिक say individual stocks or related investment. If you know about mutual fund, you can go to many sites. So, can you stick? So, there are various open-ended, closed-ended mutual funds, active fund, passive funds, based on your investment objective, based on your investment portfolio. So, you can have, I will recommend some website and books where you can go through and study all this. If you are interested in mutual fund, because I personally follow this and this is my area of interest, There are various kind of mutual fund available, direct, indirect, active, passive. So, if you want to go to a, say, holiday plan, and you book yourself a flight ticket or a train ticket, then you book a hotel, and you book other itineraries, okay? So you have time, you have expertise, and you have booked your itinerary. But if I go make my trip and book entire package, that's it. To and fro flight, everything is covered. Same is true with mutual fund also. You are outsourcing your all the process to a qualified person who will invest on your behalf. But again, it is a big universe. Again, there is a mis-selling. So you need to identify a good product. And that is again a big task. How do you identify a good product in thousands of existing mutual funds? So, as the maturity comes, in US people are following passive investment. That is ETF or a passive mutual fund. So it just follow the index. There are various index, available, say Nifty, Next 50, Sensex. So you have a replica of that index and a peace of mind. If you see this graph on left side, only 20% active investor wins. Only 20%. So for this minor alpha is what you get more than a routine. So for that minor alpha of say 20% of people, you might have a chances 80% that you lose on a average investment. So better to have if you have some wisdom, better to have a passive investment over the period of time. Or if you are new and you don't know anything about mutual funds also, passive or index mutual fund is a right way to index. Okay, this is the last slide. Can you guess the age of this gentleman? He's 65. So you have to be healthy enough to enjoy your invested money also. So health and wealth both are very well connected. These are some of the resources. A very good 3 books. I think you can go to a Connaught Place. Street vendors are available. These 3 books may be available to them. A wonderful book. I can guarantee you, if you read all 3 or at least first one. First one, left side, Let's Talk Money. I have taken many slides from that also. It is a wonderful book. There are various websites and tools available for say mutual fund or equity. Then you can go to these various websites or resources. But keep reading, keep building your wisdom about finance, and then you will definitely land up in a better position in compared to today. Thank you.
Thank you.
So any questions? Or we can have a question and answer.
The questions
I
to be
welcome
announced.
audience. Any
Yeah,
question from
Charles,
audience side? Please ask.
हाँ
like to ask you, sir.
जी.
It is compounding the interest that the concept you shared was absolutely fantastic. Here in PPF, it has been said that it's a compounding interest of around 6.5, 7.5 depends upon the year, but it is still compounding. So effective interest is always going to cross around 10 to 11%, which is again explain one part, and second is it is covering the inflation. Now, sharing that all things should not be kept in one basket. Concept, that is, one is real estate, which is inflating at around 8 to 10%, and PPF. Why these two options are not better against equity? Because equity has its own risk, as you shared. Whereas these two seems to be more safer.
If you will see, equity and real estate have a similar risk pattern, market cycle and all that. But if you see, our stock market started since maybe 79. So if you see historical data, see if you have invested for, see it is always goal based. If you have invested, this COVID comes 2019 for a reason of say my trip to Europe, example, and if you want that trip in 21, you will be miserably failed because you have invested in equity for a 3 year, which is wrong itself. A principle is wrong. So if you have a horizon of 10 to 12 years and forward, and you are in equity, for sure you will be succeed. And for real estate, I am not saying no, but two things. In addition to your living house, if you invest in other real estate also, it will take away a big chunk of your, and it is not much liquid. For God's sake, if you need in between some requirement and if you want to redeem it or liquidate it, it will be very difficult. You may have to sell it a lower price, or you may not be able to sell it. So it is not that much liquid instrument, number one. And there are other pros and cons, but in a longer term, various market and financial advisor have studied that equity is liquid also, as well as it will give a good return for against inflation.
Any more question?
Sir, 4% rule नहीं लगा है.
Oh, let me try this one. 4% rule is a very famous rule which is followed in Europe and America. But the underlying principle is that if you have a sizable corpus, as Molesh Bhai told, your longevity into, I forgot all the other terms, L into E, F into E. So if you have a sizable corpus and if you withdraw only 4% of it every year, 4% of it every year, so this money will last forever. I'll give you an example. So you are only withdrawing 4%, and if you're putting it into a fixed deposit, say for senior citizens, it's around 6 to 6.5%. Effectively, post-tax around 5%. We have to pay taxes also on whatever we earn as interest. Still, you are earning at 1% extra, and because your corpus you had calculated, as Molesh told previously, 4% withdrawal every year, and with an interest rate post-tax which is more than 4%, which is applicable in India. In India, the interest rates are traditionally more than our European and American counterparts. So that you will never be short of money in that case. So you will, so in a way the person will die, but the corpus will not die.
Nowadays there are certain deterrents in investments. One is the GST, which is very high on certain investments, and they take away about 18% of the invested amount. And I don't know, there is no financial instrument which is generating profit to that extent on the day one of your investment. So you better be careful of investing in areas where the GST is very high.
Indeed, especially in case of real estate for an under construction project.
LIC policies and some of the
Insurance policies also, yeah. And especially, yes, right point also, sir. In case you are investing into real estate for an under construction project, so the GST can be say 12% of the labor charges and 18% of the material charges also. So yes, there will be a GST will be levied. So that additional cost has also to be factored into.
Any investment product, there are three costs. Cost of entering, sometimes that is entry load or commission fees. A cost of maintenance, that is generally expense charge, or you may call it in any other. And the third is exit. While exit, you have a tax. So you should look at these three costs also while investing in any product.
But as I told in the start, we are not financial advisors. We just wanted to share our financial knowledge and our journey with you. Thanks a lot to all of you for a patient hearing.
Thank you. So we can have two dinners. So we will discuss further. See, we are, as in initial I said, this is not a prescriptive roadmap. So we will not discuss the separate products. As I said, I may be expert in mutual fund. He may be expert in stocks. He may be expert in some debt product. So we will not discuss individual product. The purpose of session is not there. We should not we can learn product by many ways, but purpose is to have a robust financial plan where we are missing out many. Our seniors are there, they have the entire life cycle experience with them. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Dr. Ashish, Dr. Molish, for such a wonderful presentation, and especially post-lunch awakening session through Menti.com, and some activities were there. So, and it is a very informative. So, take-home message is that I can say, I can gather something, few points. The session has been directed as well as is a roadmap, a way to think our financial life with some thumb rule that we can mostly adjust and modify it according to our situation, not as he has said, not see to other person. And a mnemonic in nutshell, I can say the basics. B stands for budgeting, A stands for annual flow, S saving for emergency, I insurance, and C stands for corpus calculation, S stands for start and staying the course. So in nutshell, everything is inside of this. And basically the whole presentation, it's saying about how to invest, where to invest, and what to invest. They are not promoting, I think they are not promoting any brand, but they are saying the main motive, we should learn first, then invest somewhere. And finally, it's a very good program for occupational health professionals, and they have told so many things about few thumb rule about Rule 72, LIC policy, 40% EMI, and tax saving as well. Thank you so much.